You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
In a world where there's great scarcity and where things must be achieved through competition, the male must be trained to compete. He must be trained to take risks because the life of the community, what? Depends on it. It's not just a game of male chauvinism. He must then, in a life, and we are in a competitive system, aren't we? We hear this all the time, don't we? A competitive system. How then are we going to live in a competitive system if we do not train our men to be what? Competitive. And to be competitive means to take risks, sometimes enormous risks. To be competitive means often to be able to withstand pain and to withstand the fear that threatens to overwhelm you. Being competitive means being enduring, persistent. And see, one of the problems you're going to find in many of our black children in school, that one of the things that defines their character is what we call the lack of persistence. The inability to stick with a problem, and to stick with a lesson, and so forth, until they master that lesson. To fall easily to frustration. But in order for us to be ruled, we must have children who give up at the first moment of frustration. Or men who must quit as soon as they run into rough territory. But the other men who want to rule must make it what? Rough. They got to. Or else they can't protect what they have. And so in order for you to take what they have from them, since it is a society of taking, you got to learn how to deal with what? The roughness. And this is what this thing is about. It's interesting to note that when you look at the black politicians, you hear this word, non-threatening politician. That's one of those new terms, right? Non-threatening. In other words, we will elect Negro politicians who don't threaten white folk and frighten white folk. So Dinkins and Wilder and Rice and and they got a guy here elected here, conservative, up there in Connecticut somewhere, Republican or something, right? Andrew Young, they're talking about the non-threatening black politician. Isn't that interesting? Non-threatening. And you know what that means. And what I quoted to you a while ago is a result of non-threatening black politicians and judges, black men and black people being destroyed. A man must be threatening, particularly to his enemies. If you don't frighten the enemies of the race, then the enemies are going to come in and take advantage of the race. And he must learn then to display his capacity to defend to the death his group and his principles and his people. And if possible, to frighten away his rivals and to frighten away those who threaten him. So anytime you get a group talking about electing non-threatening, black men. You're getting a group that's getting ready to be raped and taken. And that's one of the reasons why we have this parallelism between black men going to jail and the kind of problem we have and the election of non-threatening black politicians. Because no one is afraid to mess with their people and to deal with their people.
Hey, make sure y'all tap in with Let's Yap About It podcast, man. The real dynamic.
If you don't know, man, you tuned in to Let's Yap About It. Even though I don't talk much, he got something to say. Stuck in most of our mouth.
Now y'all tuned in to Let's Yap About It. This ain't no podcast, it's a problem cast. I know why the man Fairfield, Texas, very home. Hey, man, tell your baby mama I'm looking for her. Tell your wife I'm looking for her. That's what it is, man. Let's Yap About It, man. This ain't no podcast, it's a problem cast. Fat motherfucker, pimp, let's go.
Cuz. Don't lie, cuz. I don't fuck with too much talking. I don't be on that yapping shit, cuz. But you feel me? We can yap about it. You hear me on the podcast, you hear me? Yap About It podcast. Goddamn, go tap in with my people, bro. You hear me? So it's much gonna come with the interview real soon, too, y'all. So make sure y'all tap in, you hear me? We be talking with Yap About It podcast. Nigga, let's yap about it, cuz. Heard you was still talking, cuz. Let's yap about it. Fuck it.
Yeah. Let's yap about it. Yap About It podcast. Starring Raw Bass. Yap about it. Yeah. Let's yap about it. Let go. We in the mix. Fit Too Savage. Let's yap about it. Now the whole world be listening. Talk to niggas from prison. Spoke how they was living. How the COs be tripping. Rappers losing on the back end because promoter dudes keep dipping. Seen the show when the dude started out of bloods, then start crippin'. Stripper niggas stop tipping. Out of game niggas stop flipping. Bad attitude, so he had to move just to keep his ass out of prison. Seen a show about a young hoe fucked on a sister, man, no apology. Let's yap about it. If the bitch come around me, shit, she can holler at me. Check my Instagram, she was following me. Cause she knew I be where them dollars be. Rapid funds, but I keep it going. I fuck you up, no apologies. Let's yap about it. Let's yap about it. Let's yap about it. Live with Raw Bass. Let's yap about it. Yes. Let's yap about it. Another one. Finish him. Fit Too Savage. Savage like music.
What's up, y'all? We are back. On this beautiful Thursday. Oh yeah. Thank you for joining me for tonight, man. We got a lot to yap about, man. There was some things that ran across my mind and some things that I wanted to get off my chest. We definitely gonna get you through your third shift tonight. I'm glad you joined us. Listen, if you ever get a chance, like, subscribe to the YouTube page, and definitely tap in with us. Drop a comment. Let us know what we're doing. And we also take constructive criticism. If you want to say whatever you want to say, we take it. We got thin skin over here. So let the show begin. Listen. Welcome to the Let's Yap About It podcast, where we are changing the world one conversation at a time. I'm Robert Higgins, your host for tonight's program. Please subscribe, share, and hit that like button to let us know we appreciate you for tuning in. The conversation we have are concrete and tough, but nonetheless, we want to spark the brain, entertain, and most of all, explain in detail what we yapping about. So tonight, I definitely want to get into it. And then I also want to say this, and I got to get it to my sponsors. Got to give it to my sponsors. Listen. Bomb Aid. Tonight's broadcast is brought in part by Balmain Vodka, not only the official drink of the Let's Yap About It podcast, it is one of the best lemon-infused spirits out from the hand-squeezed organic lemons infused for a refreshing taste. It will set the tone to any occasion. Made from real ingredients. This is the taste you are looking for and will enjoy for times to come. And don't forget to drink responsibly. Listen. We got so much to talk about. One of the things we want to bring up tonight, Anthony Edwards and baby mama drama continues. Anthony Edwards' baby mother is calling foul as the $1 million payment she received, she feels as an injustice. We definitely going to tap in about that tonight. I also want to ask the question tonight too. Is child support really helping or harming children? Is child support tearing the Black family apart? Will this be the end of the nuclear Black family? We're going to definitely answer those questions tonight. And I also want to tap in on this too. What is a Black person worth in America? What is the worth of a Black child in America when it comes to the mother and father and government? Who gets the most profit-wise out of it? We also going to talk about this tonight. Are parents prepping kids for the next generation? Studies show current generation lack of communication, critical thinking, and social skills in the internet age. We're going to tackle that. And we also got to tackle this thing right here. Irreconcilable differences. Is this a real thing or a cop-out? Is marriage, communication, and function at an all-time high or at an all-time low in Black families? But first, I want to get to this Anthony Edwards and baby mama drama situation that has continued to plague the social media, as we've seen that he actually did one of the biggest record payouts as far as child support, $1.8 million. Something that he felt comfortable with the judge and the court system seemed was okay. But I want to ask the question tonight: how much is enough? Now we can all say this, hey, there's no thing that, what I'm saying, there's no limit to a child tonight. There is no limit to the money that you can put behind the child. But I asked the question tonight: how much is just enough? How much is enough? And we're going to get into it. Now, Anthony Edwards' baby mama cried foul about the $1 million, about it being unfair. You've probably seen the headlines, the viral posts. The story sounds like it was cooked up in the lab to make the internet lose its mind. Anthony Edwards, great NBA phenom, with the contract soaring towards $260 million. He supposedly paid the mother of his child, Aisha Howard, a lump sum of $1.8 million for 18 years of child support. And the crazy part, she was supposedly furious, claiming that $1 million buyout just was not enough. Oh, yeah. Right now, it's a tale of celebrity, mind-boggling wealth, and an alleged greed that spread like wildfire, as we could see this unfold time and time again on some of your most up-to-date apps that keep up with celebrity gossip and things. But what if I told you the entire story, the very foundation of all that outrage? Maybe truth, maybe lie. But in this, we're going to expose the truth behind this. And the reason why I want to get into this directly is because of this. The narrative was that Edwards wanted to wash his hands of the whole thing. The figure alone is staggering. Over $1 million, which breaks down to a neat $5,000 a month for almost 2 decades. But the story didn't stop there. The second, the most inflammatory part, the most biggest part of it all, was the rumor that Howard supposedly, Aisha Howard's reaction. Social media has been buzzing today, been talking about this, and she talked about an alleged increase, about her basically saying that 1.8 isn't enough, and that allegedly she's already blew through 100,000. Now I'm gonna say this. My thing is, where do you go from blowing $100,000 out of a payment? Now, my question is that for you or is that for the child? because she already has a baby daddy by the name of Lil Baby. And me looking at this situation in itself, the court system has already made its ruling. Now think, now I know people say all the consideration of that doesn't have anything to do with anything, but it has a lot to do with it. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because for the simple fact that people in America can understand one thing, and that's American greed. But nonetheless, I got a special guest, as always. I got my boy Tim up here, man. Listen, 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 listen. None other than the man with the plan himself. Man, let me give you a round of applause, man, and join it for me tonight's program. Man, there's so much going on. This thing, Anthony Edwards' baby mama drama continues. Baby mother is calling foul on $1 million payout she received as injustice. And I think that right now, this is an insult to injury because we've seen time and time again through the history of America, throwing money at situations do not solve our problems. I can go over two of them. The war on drugs, that was a failure. That was a failure. The war on terrorism, that was a failure. And the biggest one of them all, COVID-19. But I want to slow roll this conversation tonight because I really want to have this conversation because I feel like now the court system in a blatant attempt now is not just being taken care of, it's being ran over. That's my perspective, but I want you to chime in on this tonight. I really want to know your thoughts.
All right, so the question is about Anthony Edwards, or we talking about just all across the board?
Anthony Edwards in the child support system, period. It seems like it's just being overran with people who are greedy, selfish, and then at the end of the day, the child suffers. And now she's saying allegedly that she's already blew through 100,000 of that money already. And I'm like, okay, when you say blowing it, are you blowing it on the sake of the child, or are you blowing that on the sake of you? That's the difference of what I'm trying to get to. But you tell me.
Growing up, a deal is a deal. So, uh, was it a well thought out deal? No. I mean, this is a guy who's potentially about to get a $300 million contract. This is a guy who uh, has propensity because even after the next deal, he just turned 24, 25 to where he got multiple deals down the road. By the time your daughter turned 18, this man might be down there sitting, at $1 billion, and you agreed to the $1 million. But again, keyword, you agreed to this payout. So,
Mhm.
maybe you never seen a meal ticket and you felt like, you know what, cool, let me hurry up and jump on this deal. Just like it's a lot of people in third ward, fifth ward, these people that came to your doorstep with a paycheck. You never seen them numbers before and you hauled ass. But guess what? Had you held out, they coming back with new offers. They got no choice. They really want to clear the pathway out. They may come with $1 million shit. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mhm.
therefore, you did yourself a disservice. And, now you got people in your corner in your ear telling you like, girl, do you know this, and all that? And I feel like that's why she's trying to re-engage and, try to come back for more. Is she wrong for coming back for more? No. I mean, he got it. You know what I'm saying? And she got to think about 18 years. That money won't last her 2 years.
Now, my question is, in that situation, does she have an education that could sustain a life for her? But don't forget, she has another child by a rapper by the name of Lil Baby. So my question is this calculated or is this just coincidental? And the reason why, if I was a judge, I would be considering all the variables in this type of situation because his money is his money. Now, don't forget, now we know that a child has to be taken care of and compensated for fairly. That's the truth. But however, looking at the calculation of who she's getting impregnated by, that my thing right there is, okay, are you really trying to accomplish things for yourself as a woman, or is this a payday between each baby daddy that you get? Because we can see in the play right now it's hypergamy. We can see that. You know what I'm saying? But my question is, how serious are you taking motherhood to already be a one-time baby mama to become a second-time baby mama in this situation, going from a rapper to a ball player? You know what I'm saying? That's my thing. What
Well,
education has she received? What does she do for a living? Because you can't tell me that she hasn't went to college, anything to sustain a comfortable lifestyle.
right. But in our fairness, she wasn't originally the baby. I mean, baby mother of a rapper. So, Lil Baby was with her before the fame. So he was a drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? But as far as, him being what he is now, she probably had no clue he'd be at this level. And as
Mhm.
far as the Anthony Edwards situation, you gotta look. I don't think she sought after him. It was more so the fact that he seen, oh damn, that's little baby, baby mama, she finding the bitch. Let me go after her. It was in one of them type of situations. You know what I'm saying? And you knew you could get it because you had the bread, or whatever the case may be. But
You said key word, bread.
yeah. I mean, bread, fame, the whole nine. He had what it was gonna take to attract her anyway. They both two Georgia natives, talking about Lil Baby and Anthony Edwards, they both from Milan. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like she did what most women in that situation would do. I just think you should have been smarter about it. You should have seek counsel. And I think that now that everything done played out, you probably got so many people coming at you like, girl, you could have, or it could have played like this, or it could have, you know what I'm saying? And this ain't the first time a ball player done this. Robert Ory did it. But
Yeah.
it stayed under wraps. So with him being so high profile though, that's why you really feel played. And again, um, that's a hell of a jump start to start some things, to go get educated and all that. But looking at the fact that he is the father, it is it's kind of it's kind of fucked up on the child behalf because um this your kid. I understand you signed the rights. Some people get rid of the rights and don't give you nothing. You know what I'm saying? He did give up $1 million, but you also know this child want to grow up and see you on TV every day. Like, can't get around it. Like, her friends are gonna be fans of you. Like it's a heavy situation. It's unfortunate. I really feel for the child. I feel like on some real shit, he might even chuckle another 5 on the back end just to kind of keep everything copacetic. But she not getting that 23 million like Shannon had to come off of.
Ooh, wee, man. Goodness gracious. I really looked at the variables with this, right? You know what I'm saying? As far as, the payout, and then even the payout for the hundred, allegedly of the 100,000. So there's a lot of money that's touched her hands within a matter of a couple of
Yeah,
years.
yeah, he gave her 100,000 for the abortion, and yeah,
Exactly.
she didn't go take care of that. So really, people got to be accountable for their actions. You
Come
you
on
you
now.
try to hold this man hostage with this baby, man. And look, you pulled out the ultimate heist. It ain't been a woman alive got $1 million for a baby that a nigga didn't want. You know what I'm
Come on
saying?
now.
So yeah, you did that.
Um, when I look at this, and just from even the $100,000 payout, the backlash was immediate, and it was on Edwards, side, because it seems like at the end of the day, when I asked that question, how much is too much? Now, the reason why I say this is because we know that a lot of people that are put in these financial positions, we've seen this just take away from child support, but being in the limelight and having that opportunity and those opportunities granted before you, you don't take advantage of them. You don't understand the financial systems and what they can put you in to even be in a better position. And it seems like it's just about spending. You know what I'm saying? When they throw these numbers out in these court systems, I don't think that they understand the significance of how it destroys a potential place to where that not just the child, but also the family could be 10 steps ahead of the game. You know what I'm saying? And I think with this type of situation being open, as far as it being celebrity, it really kind of rewires a lot of people's mind on the court system and my total focus on the court system of, okay, y'all came up with this number, y'all sat down and figured it out, I guess, over time. But my thing is this too: why wasn't this considered on the table, as far as even just having, just realistically, hey, a negotiation part to take care of the child's education? Let
Right.
that right there be the focus point of making sure that when that child reaches 18, boom, you're good. Then through the process of elementary all the way through high school, make sure that that 5,000 is accounted for. Now that's
Right.
what I'm saying. It's,
Well,
and that's
I think
crazy.
more so that was left up to her because in actuality they didn't come up with an agreement of a settlement. What happened was they went the child support route, and what he
Mhm.
did was he forfeited his rights. But even then, they was like, "Well, you still got to pay child support." So he said, "Okay, well, what's the number y'all giving me?" So they maxed out whatever that number was. And what he was smart was because every 3 years they go get an increase. So what
Right.
he said was, you know what? While it's this number right here, right now, do that times 18 years. Then we gonna get you out the way right now. Which was smart because and that because it eliminated the chance of her being able to get an increase. Now, the thing is, if morally, if he decides, you know what, few years down the road, hey man, I had an epiphany, man. I wanna, you know, cool. Will I think it'll happen? I believe so. You know, um, but now the money off the table. If it's as far as me having the relationship, I can see that happening. But as far as her being able to get any more money, hey man, of course the judge signed off on it. And if they do reverse this, man, that's fucked up because it shouldn't be.
Let me bring up some statistical facts about this though. Now, when this first started, just when we heard about the record, he went first. This is the critical detail about that. He proactively tried to establish a paternity, and more importantly than anything, he tried to have the case decided up under Georgia law. So he filed his first. Then what she did was
Right.
proceeded to file her own, but she tried in the state of California. And that's why I'm saying you doing things that are underhanded knowingly that you're trying to get more money. And that is what I have a problem with, you playing with the court system, because at some point, I'm not saying you committed fraud, but in a way you kind of trying to sway it in a way of fraud because you're trying to get the most favorable judgment in the state that pays the most out of child support. That's why I have a problem with it. And most people ain't talking about that. And see, that's why this is why I like to get into the details of things to see people's intentions. If I'm a judge, I'm considering all this. I'm not gonna consider you coming in my courtroom in Georgia knowing goddamn well that you done filed a fucking paternity suit out there in California. Why did you do that? Now that's gonna be a consideration when I grant judgment, even for that 1.8. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that your interest ain't in the interest of that goddamn child. And that's what I have a
But
problem with.
but 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 be for real, Rob. You know, like I know how the court's really gonna lean towards. You know what I'm saying? If they able to bring that back in court, even if it's gonna be like a settlement, it's gonna be like, hey, well, you think you could maybe do like a couple extra million? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, they're gonna put the pressure on him with that. Hopefully, whenever he did what he did, he already, and it sounds fucked up to say, but just hopefully he done already went through the process of signing the rights over, and it's done. Now, if I just choose to do whatever I do after the fact, and I actually know like two people personally
Mhm.
who signed rights over. It sounds fucked up, but one of my partners, the mother just she ended up getting with another woman, right? She ended up going gay. She didn't after he died or whatever. So they had a daughter. She ended up getting with a stud. The stud ended up, getting in her head like, hey, man, you don't need that nigga. Like, I'm all of the daddy she need, right? All that shit. And it got to the point he couldn't even see his daughter. She had so much resentment for how he treated her as a boyfriend to where she took it out on him as far as his daughter. So back to school, anything like he's sending money, but he can't see it. It's always an excuse. Oh yeah, you get it this weekend. And it's like, damn, okay, when the weekend comes, you ain't answering the phone. So these things started taking place to the point where it was like, man, you know,
Right.
like I'm a damn fool. I'm sending money and I can't even, you know what I'm saying? So he warned her, hey, look, man, you're not just gonna keep taking my money, I can't give my child.
There you go. And I also want to ask TikTok over here to you guys. Do you think Anthony Edwards should be paying more than 1.8 million? Do you think there should be a level of an increase? Do you think that it's comfortable right where it is? Y'all let me know. Yes, hey, Anthony Edwards, yeah, he should be paying more, or should the child support payments be sufficient right there where they at? Y'all let me know on TikTok. Um, I'm gonna say this: it's me being a parent. Does my child deserve the best in all of what's in the world? Absolutely, absolutely. But there's a common ground. Even when I look, even in the more
Yeah,
detail.
if that child lives with me,
If
they'll
the,
get
but
it. Yeah.
but also there's even a certain level of fairness that I would grant, even if we had a certain level of fairness, meaning you're open in communication with me, not just because the relationship is over, but just to co-parent like we're supposed to in the most efficient way. And that's why I said in this, as I looked into more details of her trying to have the birth in California, as she tried to go ahead of
Oh,
the
so she can
game
get
and
more money.
recut
Okay.
eggs.
Yeah.
And that right there plays a huge part. And then think about this. You moved away from him. So he felt like, well, okay, if you want to play this game, well, let me sign over my rights, because that's exactly what you wanted to do, because we never were supposed to have a child in the first place. So now you're playing games. And then thank God that he had a legal team that looked into these type of things. You know what I'm saying? That saved him probably more on the back end than anything. So I look at that as a huge thing. And for that to see this come up as an injustice. You talking about an injustice when you did the court system an injustice by trying to play with the court proceedings by going to California.
But
That
Raw,
right there, it just irks me, man.
take it back. You just said your child deserves the best of the best. So let's just say podcast boom boom blows up. Millions of dollars getting generated now. You in New York. You done run across one of them little old things, you know what I'm saying? Take it down, let her know, hey, look. This is not what I'm trying to do. Hey, woo, woo, woo. She decides to go along. My body, my choice. Okay, cool. You know that the type of woman this is, she's already looking at it. Okay, he got the millions. Now, a lot of the times they go get the nigga that they really want. And the nigga that they really want is sorry, he
Hold
lazy.
on.
Yeah. Lazy, no good, no good stepfather, none of that shit. Now, guess what? That's the nigga that's gonna be living in the house that you purchased.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all this best of the bitch. You gotta look at it. So yeah, you gonna want your daughter driving around in the bitch. So you gotta buy your baby mama that car. You gotta buy that house just for this sorry ass nigga to be riding around taking shits in your shit, riding around in your clothes. Come on, man. That's
You
why I
know,
say, yeah, best of the best when you're at my house. It's no level of fairness and all that. Look, man, get your own bag, because one thing about it, struggle builds character. That child
absolutely.
need to see what it look like over there, and they need to see what it look like over here. And this what's gonna inspire them to keep on going.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. And I also wanted to bring this up too. And this is great, because I think a lot of people need to hear these different perspectives. There was one critical fact that gets lost in a lot of the noise. In his own court declaration, he made the position clearly stating that he didn't want to seek the child. Now, when he said, I'm not seeking it, now the only issue to be resolved was the financial part and them getting to those terms. And that's the thing that I think why the court decided to do it the way that they did, because there was not anything considerable. Now let's just take it, just not even being child support. They're in a relationship, or I'm in a relationship. All of these things in detail, that come up, and and this is when I made me look at things from a different perspective. If I'm getting with a woman and we're getting married, or we're getting into, getting to that level of marriage, the first thing I'm going to ask is, what neighborhood are we staying in? Okay. Are we doing a nice house, big house, whatever we're doing? Okay. What kind of car do you want to drive? What kind of school system? You know what I'm saying? Think about these. These are all about numbers. So, considering the fact that it's about numbers, this was the only thing that was talked about in court. It wasn't talked about the well-being of the child. It wasn't talked about that child going on and having aspirations and doing certain things. This was the only thing. This right here, the money. If it ain't about this, then it wasn't anything else about it. And that's why I say, even as a person that's just sitting back looking at this case as it unfolded, and now she's coming back, this is all that it's about, bro. And I'm sick of seeing this time and time again, because who's gonna suffer in the long run? The child. Because there's nothing that this money can do that's gonna replace a two-parent household. Believe it or not, that's not. And that's where I have the problem with her, considering the fact of you going from pillar to post and then still not having a stable home. That's the problem I have with it. And that's what needs to be looked at on the forefront.
Right. And again, and that's what I'm saying. You know what she's going to end up settling with. And that nigga going to help her blow through that money so fast. Oh, it's going to get real soon. And that's when the contempt sets in. That's when the acrimony sets in. That's when all the foolishness comes about. Then, you know what I'm saying? Now, he got some more shit coming down the pipe, because he didn't have two other kids since. And now they all banding together saying, "Oh yeah, he don't take care of them either." So he got some issues, man. Somebody need to sit him down and figure some things out, bro. 'Cause, nah, you
which,
wildin', bro.
which brings me to my
You
next
putting
point.
that boy goo in all of them, man. You get sugar, man.
Hey, look, you can't be leaving your baby batter in all of them, bro. Come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? But which brings me to my next point. Is child support really helping or harming children? Is child support tearing the black family apart? Will this be the end of the nuclear black family, bro? You go
Yes,
first on this one.
yes, most definitely. It's ripping that shit in half, man. You know, before the baby's even born, that's already the guy's biggest fear. And it gets weaponized if she don't get what she want right then and what she threaten you with.
Child support.
So, right. So the minute things like that could take place, and it becomes a weapon, it becomes a tactic to have control. And oh man, to the point where dudes is quitting jobs because it's like, man, they taking too much out of my check. I can't sustain with this. Like, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? To the point where we can't come together and say, hey, let's do this, let's do that. We keep these people out of our mix. They wasn't in the bedroom with us. So why the hell they need to be in the midst of all this? Now don't get it twisted. It's some guys out there,
Yeah,
they sorry. They don't,
absolutely.
they not gonna do nothing. Some guys, it is by force. But I'm gonna
Yeah,
say this: those are the guys that don't get fired on. She'll not waste her time on him by saying, you know what, he don't do nothing already. I'm not even gonna try to, fuck with them people. I'm already getting nothing. I'm cool with nothing. But the guy who gets up, go to work, that's the guy that gotta suffer. And it's sad. It's crazy. And if anybody is using it as a weapon, it's women, because every guy that I know who has custody of their child
mhm.
does not have the woman on child support. Don't give a damn about the child support. They're not trying to weaponize with the child support. They really genuinely just want to take care of the kid. So I'm trying to understand, what is it? Because a lot of them are not filing because it's like, oh, it's just too much on me. They're going to go file strictly because you done moved on. Oh, he got what kind of job? Oh, he think oh yeah, he ain't finna leave me behind like that. It be some, some evilness behind that shit versus just saying, hey, look, man, I know you got the job. Hey, what can you do? What can we do to help the child? Because, and honestly, it don't take one amount every month to take care of the child. Look, this month you just may need $200 from me. Next month is back to school. Okay, look, I can swing 600 so you go get you a few pair of shoes, go get some uniforms, all that. But then if the next month comes and it's like, hey, well now she don't really need nothing this month. Cool, let me hold on to my bread.
Come on, man. Come on, man. You making a statement right there because
Like this is not a car note. A child is not a car note. A child is not rent. It's not none of that. It's support for the child. So you know it's crazy, but it done told a black family up. Because one thing about it, and I'm not saying white people don't be on child support, but it's not that deep. Kids that go stay with their dad for 2 weeks, go over there with the mama for 2 weeks. Hey, when they with you, you take care of that. When they with me, take care of that. We'll meet up, go to the soccer games together. Like it's still a support system now. See, the way women do with the child support, they make it to where the dudes don't even want to come show up to the shit. Or he can't show up because I gotta work these extra hours because these people tearing me up with the shit.
uh, and it goes back to that conversation that we just had about Anthony Edwards about being financially stable. One of the things that I'm about to say is going to probably be controversial. Some people might not agree, but it seems like the only time that African Americans have a little bit of boost in financial gain is in child support or simply a parent dying and having a will. And it seems like in those situations, if you ever want to see how poor a black family is, just wait till the parents die and they have a will and you see who tries to hoard what. And it's disheartening because you've had years and years to basically put yourself in a position, and then you look at your parent dying, the first thing you want to do is start grabbing everything. And that right there sends a message to me, and it sends volumes to me that what were you doing to prepare yourself up until this point? And it seems like they look at that as a payday, as opposed to taking that same money and pushing it forward to the next generation for that generation to be better. You know what I'm saying? That right there, it just always stuck with me. People who argue over heirlooms and different things like that. And I'm like, yes, it holds sentimental value. Don't get me wrong. But god damn, man, at the end of the day, bro, that if I could have my parent back, that's what I would choose. But to hold on to certain things, and you can see that greed starts to activate in those situations. Man, listen, I know two guys who didn't speak for almost 20 years over a TV that their parent gave them. It was a black and white TV. And they lost 20 years of love and compassion and connection to their children coming together, all for the sake of them over a black and white TV. And what was so bad about it, I had a conversation with him, and he was a deacon too. And after we had that conversation, he made up with his brother. You know how many family reunions he missed? You know how many birthdays he missed? You know how many opportunities and graduations for his nephews he missed? And then after he actually reconciled with his brother, he passed away. And this was months after. So all that time, and that's what I be saying about these situations. When that child support gets implemented, is it for the need of the child for everybody to be able to be cool? Because a lot of times the court ain't calculating the time that it's going to take from your child to go get that child support, or that mother doing it by herself because she has to send him to practice. Now I got to go possibly back to work and I'm not
Right.
able to be in the stands. See, those are the things and the key ingredients that would make family and builds that nostalgia together. That right there is the most important thing. And when you have child support, there's a certain level of bitterness that comes. There's a certain level of
On
anger that
on both
comes
on both
on both sides,
sides.
on both
On both
sides.
sides.
Yes. And I think we have to, as a black culture, start looking at stop letting everybody else handle our motherfucking business for us, bro.
Man, that man might have it on his heart to do more.
Yes.
But when he think about the fact, like, damn, man, this bitch really, because you're gonna feel played about doing the extras and overs, because it's like, damn, bitch, like you really, like, really when it did this. You see what I'm saying? Like, all these, and then most people just gonna say, "Ah, man, just get over it, man. You think about the child, nah, man. Fuck that bitch." Like, you know, man, that nigga ain't think about that at that moment. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because in that moment, she said, "Fuck you." Listen, especially for the ones that's involved doing things like that, and then they still go snake in and go do some shit like that, man. Like man, they take a different type of different type of evilness because you know, and women get to hide behind this by saying, "Oh, well, you know, I was just thinking about my children." Like they get to hide behind it. No, you wouldn't. 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 You wanted to hurt that man.
And I want to say this to piggyback off of what you just said. And TikTok, if y'all get a chance, y'all come over here to the YouTube page. Fathers, mothers, I want to have this conversation with y'all. So y'all come over here to the YouTube page. Y'all drop comments at the bottom. That's available. I want to say this. To actually have that happen in real time, for a man to get an envelope and he get to see it, and I'm talking about feel it. I'm talking about it starts with that letter. And it's an official envelope that feels so cold to touch. Inside, all that legal jargon, all that, you're not doing enough. And for so many others around this country, that's the beginning of the dehumanizing journey of a black man. He walks in the court ready to talk about his son, but they don't give a damn about that child. The first thing they talk about is money. So when you sit there in that court system, and I'm talking to the brothers and I'm talking to the sisters, you don't understand the significance that it plays in a man's psyche, especially when he know he loves his children and he's willing to give the clothes off his back. He's willing to dedicate and sacrifice his last. And for that to be betrayed between the understanding that y'all two have to go to a court system that really don't, he or she that's in that court system don't give a damn. You
And
don't understand the detriment that it does to the overall psyche of just not that man, but to you too. Because what that's going to do is create a driving wedge that's going to be almost damn near unforgivable.
nah, for real.
In my
And look, you just a case number at that point, man. You see what
come
I'm saying?
on,
And
bro.
then I'm gonna tell you though, it kills them when they go look and then he go make a family elsewhere. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Now you know, like that drives them crazy because you know what they'll say. Oh, and the motherfucker badly paid the child support. It still comes down to the money. Oh, why he over there taking care of her and acting like he just got one kid because that kid live in the house. Hey man, like I didn't heard it all, dog. I
bro.
didn't heard it all.
It's nuts.
Like man, say man, that pisses them off. But it's like, man, look, listen. It might have been a little splinter. You broke the bone when you did that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's some shit, man. Y'all could have talked about. Y'all could have got past it. And look, you could have forgave him for being a shitty boyfriend
yeah.
and just said, you know what? As long as you're a good father, it's all good. That's not the angle they come from. You know what I'm saying? Like he got to get punished for what he did as your man for what's going on. You know him trying to be a father. It's not the same. You can't do that, man.
It's a it. You know what's so crazy when you get into that system and you start going, the financial pressure is like immense, right? Many fathers, and I've talked to them, they've described like an overwhelming anxiety. It's like a constant stress that like poisons, it strictly poisons every part of their lives, right? Worries for women don't come the same as worries for men. Worries for men come in bills.
Right.
Worries for men and that stress comes in bills. So we have to basically stomach, leave it at the door as we're at the job, figure out how we gonna come up with it. And even if it's considerable, fight somehow the hours that may get dropped down and still be able to maintain this through the court system. A
Yep.
lot of people do not understand the severity and the psyche and the whole energy that plays into him getting up every day and having to repeat this process. And God forbid if he loses his job, now he's playing catch up. God forbid if something happens, And now he's having to figure out what he has to do. Like car, house problems, plumbing, different things like that, and having to still keep up his lifestyle to keep himself comfortable to where he can get to work and also be able to afford the child support, also put gas in his car, also put food on his table and be able to maintain. See, a lot of people just start looking at dollar signs, but they don't understand the overall effect that it has on your fucking life. And that's where I want people to understand why I'm having this conversation. Because it's a lot of people that sit back and sit here and scoff at, oh, well, he's the man. He's supposed to do that. But there's a lot of things that the women are supposed to do too that slides by in the court system that never gets looked at because they don't give a damn, because all they give a damn about is the dollar signs. So whose moral compass gets affected more? Is it hers or is it his? And that's exactly why I want people to understand that system is really hurting us. And until we understand that, guess what? Even when that child receives that child support and he's able to pay it and she's able to, make sure that that child graduate, the legacy of that black man is still not at an all-time high, because guess who gets a majority of the percentage of that money through the court system? The government.
All right.
So that's just something that I have to speak on that,
You know, I got a partner. He had a job opportunity overseas.
bro.
The girl went and filed child support on him, put him in so much debt with back child support that he told her, he was like, look, man, look, I got a job, I go work overseas. I just need you to sign off on the arrears so I can go over here and make the money. You know what I'm saying? He's like, man, look, you're gonna get $2,500 a month. I'm gonna make sure you and the kids is good. Cool. She agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Once she sat back, she thought about it. She was like, damn, he gonna give me $2,500 a month. How much is he making? So she called him. I was like, what you got going on? He's like, oh, I'm gonna be making like 10 a month. So, I'm gonna get like 7,500, you're gonna get the other 25. She thought about it. She said, oh nah, but She said, before I see you come up like that, I'll let you suffer. Wouldn't sign on. You know what I'm saying? But
That's
but 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 it's supposed to be about the kids, right?
that. And see, in those situations, like I say, and we wonder why we make up 0.5% of the nation's wealth, is because we put our emotions into everything and put our wisdom into nothing. That right there is a key ingredient. And when you look at that situation, the first thing she went to is the dollar signs, not the well-being of the child, about if his and how he moved. And right there, that right, what you just said, is the reason that the family is already at its end, especially in black culture. Because what does the black family look like in 2025? A lot of people have a different outlook on it, but 9 times out of 10, they always say this: there isn't a black father in the home.
And you a dinosaur if you in the house. And,
Bro,
and, and, and the ones that's in the house really don't have a voice. He just there. So she figure out what she gonna do.
he's like a meatball on a
Yeah,
spaghetti
yeah,
plate.
he just there. Like he
He's-
just somewhere, He look, he don't have the final say in the house. Like it really, if they come to her and say, "Mama, can we woo woo?" She gonna say yes or no. It ain't, it used to be a time. Hey, well, go ask your dad and see what he say. Now it's kind of like he just like a prop. He like an earring or a necklace. You know what I'm saying? Something like
He's an accessory. The black
yeah,
man has become an accessory when it comes to family, bro.
yeah.
Nobody listens to him. And here's the funny part about that. The funny part about that is when you don't listen to him, you always end up in these bad spots in these bad situations. Because I think as a man, for anybody that I've dealt with, just take away family, just even friends, as we converse all the time, you've always had my best interest at heart. I've always had your best interest at heart. And that's just because that's our natural essence. But for us to understand and appreciate that, and when you're on the outside, and then you have this in the same thing that would apply to you, apply to them, because guess what? That's your wife, that's your child, that's your family. You would do the same thing, even more so. And it's not respected, and it's neglected, and it's not appreciated and valued. It's superly undervalued. That right there is a disservice, because guess what? At the end of the day, whenever you have those situations and problems that you can't handle, who's the first person you gonna look at as Superman to handle them situations? That's gonna be us. We the
Right.
ones that bear the fat line. And I want to ask this interesting question. What would happen if we were invaded and let's just say they wanted to kill all African Americans point blank, period? And I want to ask this to the mothers. What is your course of action? What would be your escape route to assure your safety?
They're gonna go hide behind the niggas. But you know, it's something you just said too, Rob. It's crazy. We the last line of defense, not the first.
Oh, come on, man. Come on now.
They come to us when is absolutely nothing else that could they want to figure out on their own. You behind on your car note. Rather than you saying, hey, baby, I ain't gonna lie, I fucked out the money. I did this and this. Hey, look, my car note, I'm behind a month, you know, whatever. Cool. Cause guess what? That's a $400 problem. I can knock that out. You will wait till you 3 months behind. Now you owe these people $1,800
Come
to
on, man.
finally come. Even if I still do it, you cost me more money than you had to if you had just told me then, because you're gonna get see, they run away. What they don't like about a man is because see, women they fuss. Men give lectures. It's gonna be an educated conversation that's gonna come
Absolutely.
along with this. Like, hey, look, I understand this happened. Hey, don't let it happen again. If it does happen, hey, you need to go about it this way. You see what I'm saying? They don't like it. They even say, you think you somebody daddy. Well, guess what? The way you act, you think you somebody's child. You know what I'm saying?
Come
So,
on,
so
man.
let's get that clear. If you don't want to get talked to or treated like a child, then guess what? You need to have some damn accountability about yourself and conduct yourself like a grown ass individual.
Come on, man. And just to piggyback off of what you just said is you can't be offended by everything. And this is the key ingredient. I want y'all to understand this. And TikTok, y'all come over here to YouTube and come join us. You can't be offended by everything and ashamed of nothing. That right there is the key ingredient. And you said we're on the last line of defense. Here's the thing. You can avoid them potholes and you can avoid those dramas. You can avoid them situations by just doing one simple thing. Just listening and learning and being able to understand that we care enough to tell you, because there are a lot of people out here that don't give a damn, that will take advantage of your stupidity. And I'm going to tell you
Right.
two of the biggest markets right now of where that happens: in the housing market and also in the car market. And they see you coming a million miles away because they know that they can negotiate at probably 10 to 15 sometimes percent above the annual rate that they already have it at, bro. And they love to see them coming because you know why? They're going to hit you with words and keywords that are triggers to make you want to come and buy. Dream car, dream house, different things like that. When we know as men, you can't bullshit us. Hey, man, we came in here for one reason. This right here, this, if I can't get this, hey man, I'll go somewhere else and you know what I'm saying, take my business elsewhere. But
Right.
they know that we're so they attach themselves to their emotions by using triggering effects of certain verbiage, and then they end up burning them every time.
Yeah.
But I want to ask this question because we talked about what we just talked about, is child support really hurting and helping America? It leads me to this question. What is a black child worth in America? What is the worth of a black child in America when it comes to the mother, the father, and the government? And who profits? Who gets the most profit wise? Go on now.
Man. Um, it's a case number. That's what it is. So when they say, you know, this person, it has a case in the cause, and that's what it's worth right there. It's the way the government view it. It's no love, it's no emotion, it's no feel for it. You know what I'm saying? But that's who you're gonna let dictate how I should take care of this child. That's crazy, right? The person that
Yeah.
has love, compassion for the child, things of that nature. The thing is, you can't call the child support office and say, "Hey, man, look, the kid's going back to school next week. You think, huh? They don't say, well, man, but we having them on already in place. They all the way by the book. This what it is cut and dry. It's no emotion about it. You can't call them crying and say, well, the child support was only 150 this month. I need 220 and hey man, you know, it's nothing we can do. So
Come
the
on,
fact
man.
that that's what you let allow dictate, you know, the parenthood is insane. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. Some of them do feel like, man, you know what? I can't get through to this cat. I ain't trying to woo woo. Because it is some dudes out there, they feel like, man, if they can't have the woman, they ain't fucking with the child either. You know what I'm saying? That is
Absolutely.
true. Yeah, it's fucked up. It's unfortunate. But what
Yeah.
I'm talking about is two level-headed individuals. I'm not talking about the knucklehead and shit. I'm saying just straight up. Because you have some women that just go down there just for the sake of, well, I see my mama do it. I see my auntie do it. I see my cousins do it. Versus actually putting in the work to co-parent. Like, just like with a marriage, anything. Kids need to see healthy companionship. It don't, even if y'all not together, the co-parenting side of things, seeing y'all get along. You know what I'm saying? Being able to take a picture if it's parent day at the school, to where it's not so much resentment that the people are forcing y'all to get in the same picture. It should just be okay, cool, yeah. Boom, all right, hey man, y'all good? Y'all got gas money? Hey, here y'all go, hey man. I'm coming to get you this weekend, man. Y'all be safe. Hey, y'all ate? You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, cool. We don't have to meet up to go eat. But hey, look, y'all ate something? Hey, well, here. Y'all go run by Chili's or something after we leave this parent teacher conference. Like, it should be able to, you should call me and say, hey, man, it's a parent teacher conference, man. You think you can make it? Yeah, I'll be up there. I'm on the way. But if you once you put these niggas so knee deep, because see, the thing is, they don't just go file. See, just filing, I can damn that kind of understand it. But what they'll do is, oh, how many years I can go back? Oh, I can get 5 years back. It's like, damn, you gonna put the nigga so knee deep in, he can't go get his passport. You know
Come
what
on.
I'm saying? He can't go do it after. It's fucked up, man. Like, that's whole shit to do it in that manner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, my advice is, if you can co-parent, co-parent. But the question was, what is a black child worth in America? Not a goddamn thing. It got to be worth it as far as you two guys.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that child don't have nothing but two parents.
Mhm.
That's it. That's all. That's
You
it.
know, you know, it brings me to this, and I wanted to bring this up. And this man was an older guy, and he was speaking on the situation. And I want to bring you up so you can hear what he was talking about. I want you to check this out. And this is very interesting about what he said. I want you to check this out. I'm going to bring you up on here. And you tell me what you think of this, Tim, because this right here hit spot on when it came to the situation. So check this out, man.
Up and I seen how my mom did my dad. And after they broke up, I seen I seen guys come in and out my house. And I saw some guys that I was like, yo, he actually a good dude. Mm-hmm. But me and my brother said, yo, we like him. Mm-hmm. But the ones that was like put their foot down and was trying to make moves, my mom got rid of them. It was the ones that wanted to do what she wanted to do and didn't take control of the
That's
household.
what she was used to.
She was used to that.
You heard that key thing of what he said in that situation. He said the discipline. He said when they tried to come in and they tried to bring in order, they tried to bring in structure. Those are the ones that she got rid of. And that right there in itself shows you the value. If a child has no discipline, then that child's worth is going to be useless. I mean, he's going to be useless to the society. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to be a male, but you have to get your credentials and you have to be certified to be a man.
Right.
That's the difference, dog. And to hear that man say that, man, and his mother probably never even heard him say that. You know, because a lot of times kids talk amongst themselves in those conversations. A lot of times those children are very smart and they become very aware. See, the thing is, when one child lacks in one area, sometimes the devil will come in and make them make up in those other areas of being articulate and being, sometimes, you ever heard you was ever too big for your britches? Sometimes you can be too smart. That right there is the devil's playground. And a lot of times those parents miss that, because what do you hear say it all the time in black parent households? I'm the mama and the daddy. You gonna listen to me. But my question
Yep.
is, since you're above scrutiny, who's gonna correct you?
Right.
And this is not a shot. This ain't a shot. This ain't a disrespect. But these are the things that I've heard
But,
amongst
but
my
but maybe
friends.
a shot and some disrespect need to be had in order to unravel some things. Maybe that's what it takes, because yeah, the shot and the disrespect come. What you gonna do about it? Huh? You gonna go get a man about it? That's what you gonna go do.
I got now,
Yeah. If
now,
a motherfucker get the beating on your door too loud, who you calling?
oh, you gonna call me, baby? Come on with it, baby.
In a flat tire on the side of the road. Oh, you can say you calling AAA, but who
Huh?
pulling up in that truck out of AAA?
Oh
The
man.
man.
Oh man.
Cut the bullshit, man.
My boy 10 for 10 from the free throw line right there, man. But I want to there was something interesting about the conversation that was had, right? And this right here was a very interesting thing. And I heard this guy say this, and he was a male in the school system. But I want you to check out what he had to say. And it was very interesting perspective. And he talked about discipline. Check this out real quick.
Told me.
And this is gonna be very interesting, because let me know if y'all guys, hey, if you watching out there, hey, if you agree with this, if you disagree with it, man, we want to know. All those over there at TikTok, man, y'all come on over here to the YouTube page, come check us out, man. We doing some things over here, and we having a high vibrational conversation we want you to be a part of. So y'all come on over here, man, and come vibe with us one time. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we do when we over here at the podcast, man. But check this out, Tim.
They said, Mr. Chapman, she said, I love your spunk, but you just can't be whooping these children's ass. You know? Because I was in the cafeteria, and the little kid, his hat was on. I walked up, we monitoring and shit. I said, young man, take your hat off. He took his hat off. A few minutes, I walked away.
He got it back
had
on?
it back on. And so the principal was sitting there having her lunch, looking at me.
Like, what you gonna
Mr.
do?
Chapman. I said, oh my God. So I goes back over. I said, hey, my man, what's your hat? Man, fuck you. You a student like I am. And when he said that, I lost it. I grabbed that little motherfucker, and we went down that table. And I was drugging straight down that motherfucking table.
Like through the trays?
Yeah,
Like trays and shit?
yeah, like I was,
He treated that man like he was at an old bar saloon, man. He said now, most people might not agree with their type of discipline, but I think these young boys, especially these young black boys, need that type of discipline, man,
Right.
because there is nobody in the home to really structure them in. Because 9 times out of 10, in the aspect, this is social biological behavior. When a young man sees his mother act erratic and act wild like that, he's gonna take on those behavioral traits. He's gonna adapt to that type of level of surroundings, and he's gonna start mimicking the same thing. Why? Because he sees the first-hand example. My mom's loud and irate, so that means I can be loud and irate. And
Right.
9 times out of 10, when you see them loud and irate, it just ain't in the home. It's dealing with the telephone man. It's actually dealing with the light bill. It's dealing with the baby daddy. It's dealing with the siblings. It's dealing with the baby daddy. And it's just a repeated process. And
Right.
that right there of what he showed was true discipline. Because sometimes, and I ain't gonna lie, and this might be controversial, what I'm about to say, some of these young black boys need to get their ass whooped, and they need to get their ass punched dead in the mouth, man. That's just me.
And that's crazy that's controversial now. Because, man, that was the way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was the way. And look, people get mad when I say that. Even in the animal kingdom. Oh, we ain't animals. I'm just saying, in every form of life,
Come on, man.
this is what happens.
Man, when I look at these situations, because my thing is, I don't want your fucking kid to have to go to the penitentiary to learn discipline. I don't want them to go there.
And
We trying
they
to
spanking
prevent
over there in
this.
China, man. They
Man,
spanking
Carl,
over there in China, man.
man, listen,
And
man. Look, in Russia, you don't even want to go to jail over there because you'll never get to see the outside. You'll never get to see no
yeah,
light. You literally going around with your arms behind your back up and you bending low. But bruh,
yeah.
there's some things that I that are inhumane. You know what I'm saying? That I don't wish on nobody. But I don't want the learning curve for a black boy or even a black girl at this point because they're going to jail now. I don't want it to be where you have to go to jail to realize that you're not a student of the game there. I want you to graduate from a high educational school, not from the school of hard knocks. You know what I'm saying? And I think that,
But Rob, that's the only school that's respected these days.
man, that's true. That's true.
And it's crazy. I just read today how kids who are graduating from ages 22 to 27 are just as unemployed as the kids who didn't.
And make no mistake about it. You know why? Because we're not creating self sufficiency with the adults as they come up to maintain. You get what I'm saying? Like average black businesses are going out of business within what 3 to 7 years. You know what I'm saying? You've been in business what over what 10 years, 12, 13 years now. You know what I'm
Shit.
saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, bro, that right there, you should be studied as a blueprint. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? As far as running a business, as far as financial literacy, as far as all of those categories, even as a father, because guess what? You just not a person that cut hair, man. You're a counselor, you're a brother, you're a sister, you know what I'm saying? You're an expert, you're a teacher, you do a lot of things. So you have a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? And you've mastered those things. And to me, this is who people should model themselves after. Just like me in the podcasting, knowing how to articulate yourself, knowing how to agree to disagree, learning different perspectives. A lot of our children lack that going into the real world. So when they lack that, they're already coming from behind. So as they're playing catch up, they never get to the status of where you are because they have not understood what it means, how you are a symbol, and most of all, he's approachable that you could actually learn from instead of you sitting on your pride and ego.
Right.
That right there is the difference, bro. Yeah, man, and like I say, at the end of the day, a lot of these kids aren't made of what we think. You know why? Because a lot of these dudes are telling. A lot of these young girls are snitching. A lot of these people are being in unnecessary people's business that you're not even prepared for. Because let me tell you something. At the end of the day, I had this happen to me with a kid at Spring, and I can talk about this because I'm not going back to the school district, but I respectfully told him, "Hey, man, you know what I'm saying? Just do what these folks say do. I don't have no problem with you. I don't have no issues with you. I just want you to do the right thing." And I used to tell him to go to class all the time. And this young man is now incarcerated behind the things that he did. And let me tell you what he did. He made the news here in Houston. He shot his girlfriend on accident with the gun. I think he was holding an AR-15 and shot her in the chest, and it was on her birthday. And that was the same young man that I used to tell to go to class. Hey, man, you ain't got to skip, man. Just go in that class, man. Stay in there about 45 minutes. If you leave and go to the restroom 10 minutes before class over, cool. But he didn't listen. And now he's incarcerated for murder. And that's why I tell you, I stress the things that I stress on this podcast and even in real life. A lot of times you're not prepared for situation. In that situation, he was not prepared for. But I wanted to get to this last thing we talked about, and this was one of the things that I wanted to talk about. Are parents prepping their kids for the next generation? Studies show current generation lack of communication, critical thinking, and social skills in the internet age. I'm gonna take a crack at this one. I feel like the pandemic showed us so far of where we are behind. And the reason being is because we got to see parents right there neck and neck with their children to see how much math they knew, how much science they knew, how much history they knew, how much of what they learned in school was able to be passed down. Now, I know they do things differently in schools. There's a different way of doing math, different way of doing science, but My question is, did they pass down those communication and critical thinking skills? Because it seems like right now in 2025, these kids do not have what it takes to talk. And when I say articulate themselves comfortably, to even say, hey, I have a problem with this. I don't know what I'm doing. Man, I need some help. And then if they do tackle a problem, they become discombobulated. And that's crazy to me, man. That's just me.
With the way society is moving, we're in a regressive state right now. They're putting slang in the dictionaries now. They leaving the G off of things. If you say thinking, they taking the G off. It just thinking. Like they kind of adapting to the urban world. Like even there used to be a time where you didn't want to get visible tattoos because they'd hinder you from certain jobs, right?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't want to name your kids certain names because it could prevent certain things. Honestly, man, the world is so wide open. Now, if we're talking about from an intellectual standpoint, no, they're not preparing them. But the world is so crazy right now. This morning or last night, one of them, I sent you a page. This girl, she got like six, 7 kids, right? And it's just her. And she show like her everyday life, how she's struggling, whatever. Different restaurants tell her come eat for free. Um, she shows, how she get by, shit like that. It's a platform for everything now. Like, and she be getting like 283,000 views. So that's a check coming in. So now with the exploitation of the world, yes, people really can survive and thrive in this generation. It's crazy. Now look, they may be a flash in the pan. It might not set them up for long-term success, but
Right.
I just saw that they showed last month, they've been doing it month by month. Every month the number's been increasing on how many new millionaires is coming into rotation. And what's going on, these youngsters, they are using TikTok. They are using it. They're more richer than we've ever been. Like
Facts.
this generation coming up, they know how to make money. Now, will they know long term how to invest, what to do with it? I don't know. Somebody better get some financial advisors and some things around them. But the thing is, this generation is so open. Nothing is private anymore. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. The prostitutes is telling that all the game. They tell them what they do when they go to Dubai. Gladly getting on podcasts telling it all. People got Twitch where they
Mm-hmm.
showing you their whole life. It used to be, take a picture, show a glimpse of what's going on. Man, these people streaming live. They streaming going to sleep. They want to see what concert night. How does he snore? Speed. All these different people. Like, so if we talking about financially, yes. If we talk about intellectually, mentally, because even in the Bible, it breaks down how this generation is gonna, they're gonna be more wiser, but they're gonna be weaker mentally. And we see that already. They're weaker physically as well, too. It's I just read too. I've been doing a lot of reading lately, with a lot of different things. And it was saying that the average 25-year-old man, or well, I mean, yeah, they're a man. We probably look at them as boys, but the average 25-year-old male, rather, his testosterone is lower than a 70-year-old man from the 1970s.
Damn.
Do you hear what I just said?
Man, bro.
His testosterone levels at 25 are lower than a man in his 70s
Come
from
on.
the 1970s.
That- and and I can see exactly why, right? Because you're using more of your brain power in real time, right? But
Right.
here's my thing and my concern about our society. With let's just take black culture for example. We go by views. We like to look at things. We like to see. That's what solidifies it. But the problem is there's also an undertone to that. And the reason why I say that, yes, you will stream. you will make the financial gains. But the thing is, you don't possess the social skills outside in the real world to see how people that don't function online, there are completely different people out there that are different offline. Some people don't have social media. Some people don't carry themselves with the intellect that you show online. See, because that right there, yeah, you're gonna make the millions, but then you're gonna get into it with somebody out here. Now, add in the effect that you might be a millionaire, but you might not know how to conduct yourself in this situation where you either get yourself killed or you get yourself in a lawsuit. And we're seeing all the way from all the local celebrities, from the young ones to the old ones now. Shannon Sharp. And I hate to use him as an example. Yes, you're online, but you got yourself caught up in a social situation that you didn't even need to be. And it cost you 23 million.
It was out of your age bracket.
And it was out of your age bracket.
It was in your tax bracket, but it was out of your age bracket.
Come on.
And that too is why I'm saying yes, in a sense, because think about it. These people who you describing who are not internet savvy, they're not this and that. The people who will go out and go cut these yards in 100-degree weather, the people that will go out and still do certain things, they're going to get lost in the shuffle at some point because you got to look at things now. So Saturday with AI, you know what I'm saying? Like these youngsters, they up on it. They understand what's about to happen. Like you and I, we like at that last little bit, before the water spill over in the cook. Like we that last spot, a generation of guys that's gonna be able to go ahead and flow with what's going on. We're gonna know how to work AI, how to go about this. Even with digital banking and things like that, Bitcoin, all these, like we still aware of a lot of stuff, but this older generation who's not understanding crypto and they're not understanding AI and shit like this, and the fact that you're gonna need the internet to do things. You need the internet to do business. Like, you got a lawn service and you might do go door to door handing out cards, but man, people love to see visuals now. Show me your work. So in that sense, they okay.
Mm-hmm.
They really are. But with common sense, no, they don't get it. Like the fact that you will stream your whole life, the fact that you will tag every location that you at while you're there. You know what I'm saying? Now you might see me at places I ain't tagging until I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? These are the things that got you a pop smoke killed. A certain thing, like a lot of these young cats are not socially aware. That's the problem right there.
You hit a nail on the head because the internet thugging and the internet life is completely different from real life. You know what I'm saying? And make no mistake, you got your blogging bloods, you got your keyboard crips, you got your mouse pad mobsters, of course. Yeah, they're gonna go with you back online,
Like
but there's you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, but as you know, we're not old school, we're in school and we're always learning. But the same approach that we have online is going to be a completely approach that's going to be different offline.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we real time. Hey, when we instant, we right there. That's how that goes. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of these youngsters don't understand that, you can type, but if there's a one-on-one interaction, we take threats seriously. We take threats online, offline very seriously. So a lot of times you can get yourself caught up in a situation that you're not ready for. And as we see, I've seen a couple people in real time talk trash online and then have their feet dangling in the air. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day,
you see that girl? It was a girl going live about another girl. The other girl pulled up while going live, kicked down her door. And, but to get to the real nitty gritty of the question, parents preparing kids for the next generation. See, it's no greater time to collab than now. So the older parents, the older generation, they was real tone deaf. When we came to them about certain stuff, it was like, whatever. This is the greatest time to collab because while these kids know about the tech world and AI and things like that, like I'm using my partner for example, Black, right? He got the trucking business and things like that. Imagine if he had a younger son, internet savvy, they could say, hey, Daddy, look, I can get you more loads booked through this, or hey, we can use this AI app. hey, you don't even need a broker. The AI will run this for you and close these deals out for you and woo woo, and you can bridge this shit together. This is the perfect time for black families to get rich right
Yeah.
now. It's just it's the disconnects of guess what? Child support. It's the disconnects of rebellion with the woman and the man. It's all of these things. Every topic we had together, it all coming together to show why the black family can't, but the black family should.
Come on.
And the thing is, what is it going to take to put the connection together? I'm telling you right now, man, my kids, like, they show me shit with the iPhones. I didn't even know. Like, I was telling my oldest daughter, which, and this ain't no big deal, but I was just telling her, I was like, here, you want to link up to the Wi-Fi, the code? She was like, nah, daddy, just do your phone like this. And showed me I could just share her the code instant. Like, you know, it's just something like that. I didn't even know that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it just, man, like, if we could just come together, man, we would really just move because that's how the plan's supposed to be. If you watch The Godfather, there was always room in the Knicks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it was always an heir to the throne. You know what I mean? It's, man, it's crazy, man. It's
When
crazy.
you know, when there's a thing that most people run from and don't understand, there was a pecking order. You know what I'm saying? Most people don't know what the pecking order is. And if you ever understood anything about society, the pecking order was something that was unique. And it was basically a hierarchy of a status amongst members of a group. You know what I'm saying? And it could be in the animal kingdom, but what I'm talking about is real time of expertise of parenting, expertise of discipline, showing kids things that are not just physical, but mental. And that part right there, studies show lack of communication and critical thinking skills. These children do not possess it. They may possess one, but they're lacking in other areas. And that's where we, as men and as fathers and as concerns and people of the community, we like to pull them to the side. There shouldn't be a "you ain't my daddy," because at the end of the day, all the information that you receive is to help you, not hurt you. And that's where exactly when you in the barbershop and you having these conversations, you sometimes can't help but say, hey, man, you wrong on that, brother. I gotta stop you. I can't let you go out in the world and you know what I'm saying, say the things that you're saying and repeat them in the public to make yourself embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? Nah, let me correct you, brother. Let me give you a level of understanding. And
Right.
no, and the one key thing, and it's the ingredient: nobody is above scrutiny. Remember that. Nobody on this planet is above scrutiny. So when you keep that in mind, everything in your life will be a little bit better. A-okay.
Yeah. It's even the court in place for the president.
Come on,
I
man.
see. It's still a court in place for
Bro.
him. So, you just gotta understand that, man. And like, you got some countries where you got dictatorship like Kim Jong and all that, but guess what? It's still other countries he got to answer to. You
Yes.
know what I'm saying? If we feel like you're going too hard on your people,
Come
we'll
on.
step in. Like, hey, so somebody gotta always at ease, baby. At
Somebody
all
answer.
times.
Somebody answers to somebody, bro.
Yep. Yeah. And so and even the highest benchmark, hey, you gotta answer to the most high. So
I wanted to put this out here and see what you think of this. And this is for the audience too. If y'all want to come over from TikTok, man, y'all tap in over here on the YouTube page. I wanted to bring this up and you tell me what your perspective is on this. And this was an interesting thing, and this was biblical. Check this out.
But
This one's gonna be a controversial thing, and this is what makes me think especially in a situation like this, or what he brought up and the way he brought it up, I thought this was like powerful. You know what I'm saying? Now you might not agree, but at the end of the day, hey man, this is all about having conversation and just enlightenment. But tell me what you think of this situation, man. This was a crazy thing, but I felt like man, it needed to be said. Check this out.
sorry to be so brash, but I have to call a thing a thing. When you look at black culture, who leads it? Women. That's actually a curse. That's not a blessing. That's a curse. In the Bible, in Isaiah, it talks about how you will be persecuted by children. What's going on in the inner cities? Who are the gangs made up mostly of? children, and women will lead you. That's not a blessing, that's a curse. Meanwhile, Roland Martin's walking around with a shirt that says vote like a black woman. That's crazy to me. Wearing a shirt that says vote like a black woman. Look, you dummy. The reason why black women vote predominantly for a party and for a philosophy that promises handouts, that promises to take care of you, that promises to be your big brother, is because they can't depend on the men in their home. And so it's because you fell asleep at the gate that your women feel that they must now vote for a politician to take care of them.
You ain't done more for black people than LBJ did, than Bill Clinton did, than FDR did.
For you, a grown man, to wear a shirt that says vote like a black woman is like saying I don't want to be a man. I don't want to take responsibility and rise to the occasion. I want for the government to take care of me. That's what you're saying when you wear a shirt that says vote like a black woman who doesn't feel protected, who doesn't feel like her man can take care of her and of the family. That's what you are saying when you say vote like a black woman. The nerve of you.
Man, what you think of that? Now that was controversial, bro. And for him to use the biblical part of that, it gave me a different understanding. You know what I'm saying? As far as that being, like he said, that's not a gift, that's a curse. And we can see where we are and about us having this discussion overall about even us going through their court system as opposed to us holding court in our own. That
Right.
shows exactly the point of what we've been talking about tonight.
You know, man, we got to get back to our old traditions, morals, standards, way of life. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to get back to our roots, man. So, it got to be a moral compass, man. It got to be to where people are saying, that's not okay for us. Hey, look, we can't let you get away with that because we can't have people thinking that's how you represent us. See, black people, and I promise you, I love my people, but I'm saying we're the only ones that feel like, oh, we got to spill forward. It shouldn't be no rules. We got to just go with this and just whatever come about. And I'm gonna say this, man. White tradition is still tradition. Picket fence, dog, the family. That's that. Yeah, you got some shit going on, but when you think about the black the white nucleus of a family, that's where you go with it. You know what I'm saying? The granddad come through, the granddad and the grandmother. You think about family, lineage. You think about that. When you think about even the Hispanic culture, you immediately think of family. Look out for each other, camaraderie, even the cousins, all that type of shit, right? In the Chinese community, you damn sure ain't think about no how they say, oh, we spearhead and we moving forward and this is I ain't seen it. And they might do exist. I just ain't seen the gay Chinese. But I'm just saying, like, it just certain things they like, nah, baby, we standing on tradition. Ain't shit changing. This what it is. And I feel like people look at change like, oh yeah, that's just what it's supposed to be. Like when Obama came through, promote change, right? But God said he the same yesterday, today, and forever.
Come on.
So everything don't require change. You get what I'm saying? Everything doesn't require change. People look at change like, oh yeah, that's good. No, you can progress. But at the same time, progression don't mean flying off the handle.
Come on, man.
It's too much going on within our community to like they even saying like gay is the new black. They saying they did the slut walk or whatever that
Yeah.
shit is. It's like, man, you attaching everything negative to the black community. So like when people look at the black community, it's just like a big gumbo of what's going on. We already had the negative stigma of, oh, we like to sag our pants, we number thugs and all this shit, right? Now we got all this other shit on top of that. Now we got the baby mama drama, and all these type of things. Honestly, man, and I got baby mamas. Yeah, that's the reality. You got a baby mama. That's what
That's real.
we not husbands, right?
Yeah.
Now, but what I can say is when you go amongst these other cultures, right? and y'all talking. Like you and this guy, y'all can see eye to eye on a lot of things. And then when we get to talking about the children now. So when it's like, yeah, man, when I get, he talking to you, when I get home, I'm gonna have dinner with the kids and and the wife and woo. Hey man, how old are you kids? How you woo? And you gotta be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go pick them up from my baby mama this weekend. You know what I'm saying? It's a damper that come with it. You feel what I'm saying? Because
Absolutely.
look, they can't even understand. Like, hold on, like, oh, you not there in the house, to raise your children, or like they not there with you, or like what's going on? Like they ain't playing them step games like this.
It, and it's crazy because even in our culture, it's always something that you say. You live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Even in your own home and marriage and relationships, you see yourself become the villain. And here's the interesting thing about that, right? They get tired, and I'm not bashing anybody. They get tired of you being right. They get tired of you being the person that has the wisdom. But I'm gonna say this in comparing to white culture, the women love the fact that they don't have to think about certain things
Turn
because
their brains off.
they can turn it off because they're able to embrace their femininity, knowing that this man got it handled, knowing that this man's track record is impeccable, knowing that he's been able to even correct some of my wrongs. That's nothing to be upset about. That's something to be celebrated because now I can officially unwrap who I am as a woman and gift wrap it directly to him. That's the way it should
And
be.
pass it along to the child. But
And hold
I'm
on.
gonna say this: don't get it twisted.
Mhm.
It's certain things they can't stand about that man as well. It's certain things that Chinese woman can't stand about that Chinese man. This white woman can't stand about this white man. This Italian woman can't stand about this Italian man. This Hispanic woman can't stand. Hey, look,
Yeah.
they think that black men get drunk and beat their women. Oh, it goes on in every household.
Oh, yes.
But see,
Yeah.
the thing is, they've been so enriched in tradition
Mhm.
to where they still understand the look of things because you're not going to have a perfect situation in nothing. You can bounce
Absolutely.
around, go nigga to nigga, all this shit. He was like this, he was like. Before you look at it, you just adding bodies up.
Mhm.
They understand. Hey, look, this what the situation is. This what I can deal with. This what I can't deal with. Hey, look, he does do this. He does that. They look at the good outweighs the bad. Hey, look, I'm not finna go out here just to put myself in a different situation. They understand that the family nucleus, even the way it looks from the outside looking in, the problem is we to the point now, man, I don't care how people view me. Shit, I don't care what it look. They take pride in it. That when you see us in the grocery store, you see a family unit in here. You see a husband and wife walking through this motherfucker. You don't hear that kid run up and say, Mr. Tim, can I get no, you hear dad.
Come on, man.
You see what I'm saying? So even if like people still appreciate the beauty of seeing like, damn man, they thugged it out for 20 years. Because we look at it even amongst the black community. The
Mhm.
people who do thug it out and stick together, we be like, man, like they had trials and tribulations.
Mhm.
Half the time they probably couldn't stand each other. But it's beauty in the fact of man, granny head it down, grandpa. Like,
And just to add what you just said, to be in that realm of understanding that, right? That's what's lacking. But I said this, and I want to talk to you ladies. When you pray for a man and you ask God to send you that man and you don't listen to him, that's not just a disservice to your husband, but that's a disservice to God too. Because let me tell you something. Sometimes the blessings that God sends down to him to you is to God not only go to you, but through you to your children. So a lot of times when that man is in the prime example of giving you a lecture lesson, it's not to nag you. It's not to degrade you. It's to actually build you up. Because at the end of the day, if God has provided me the hands of strength to build my kingdom, and you're the one that's next to me, guaranteed that if whatever I pass down to you, you're gonna make that tenfold. You get what I'm saying? It's not an ego. We always say that it's not an ego, it's how we go. So when you understand that sometimes the blessings ain't always money, sometimes the blessing is the lesson that he's able to teach you so that your household can be protected. That's what they're not teaching you right there in
Right.
those churches.
Man, listen.
That's the thing that they're not teaching, bro.
Sometimes, man, you gotta look at things like, man, look, it's bigger than me. Just like the slaves did.
Come
It's
on.
bigger than me. Sometimes you gotta go and thug it out to make sure that the grandkids get
Come
a good
on.
example of what this shit's supposed to look like. Listen, even when it hurts, man. You
Come
feel
on.
me? You gotta look outside of yourself just for a little bit, because once people see that crack, or your kids see that crack, they see what they say, a shink in the armor.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Once you rip that off and say, "Hey, man, look, I can't stand your granddaddy. I can't woo da da da. Oh, I'm glad I left that motherfucker." Guess what? You're now instilling in their minds, oh, anytime something rise up, yeah, just leave, walk away. So now the grandkids is coming up. Nobody's committed to nothing. Man, one of the highest things that's respected is somebody that's committed, dedicated, and loyal to something. You know what I'm saying? Listen, even when you loyal to a fault, you know why these people in the army and out, because, and I'm not gonna say America don't give a damn about them, but they are expendable. They are called the expendables,
Yeah.
right? You expendable. But at the same time, people respect these guys because they believe in something greater than themselves.
Yes.
Like, I'm fighting for my country. I'm fighting to look, not for the freedom of myself, not for the freedom of my neighbor, not for the freedom of my children. They look at it for the next 4 generations. Like, I'm gonna make it better for them. People I'm never gonna meet in my life. I still want to make sure that they're able to move the needle forward. You get what I'm saying? And that's why black people are some of the most looked down upon, because they look at it like, man, what the hell do you uphold? What do you give a fuck about? You know what I'm saying?
Come
Like,
on, man.
what the fuck,
Come on.
like, drives you? What does it? Because over here, we look at legacy over here. You know what I'm saying? White America, we looking at, man, look, we looking at patriarch, we looking at legacy, we looking at, hey, like, even, oh, I graduated from this college, so my kids want to
Come on.
graduate from this college. They look at that
Come on.
and look, to be able to go back 6 generations and say, yo, we all came from here. This is our alma mater. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Come
that
on,
means
bro.
something. You feel me?
Who even used that word alma mater, bro?
Man,
Come
Rob,
on, man.
you can stick your chest out like, yo, my great granddaddy, he walked this stage too. The same stage I'm walking, yeah, he walked it too. Yeah.
Come
That,
on,
that,
man.
that form over there, oh yeah, that's named after my great aunt. You know, like, they able to say these type of things. You know what I'm saying? In the Chinese community, it's certain things they uphold. In the Mexican community, yeah, you see that freeway right there? Yeah, our people, they built that 610. Yeah, it was broke right here. We did this and woo to woo. It lineage, man. That shit really means something. Even in the Bible, if you go read, I think it's Numbers or Deuteronomy, it start breaking down like everybody name, who they come from, who, whatever, whatever. The thing is, it is supposed to be a legacy left. It is supposed to be a legacy built. It's supposed to be an inheritance. It's supposed to be a whole lot of shit. But look at the things that we inheriting. We inheriting our women thinking they need to be independent. Fuck these niggas. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, whatever. The Lil Kims of the world, the Trinas of the world, they didn't generated the spawns of the Lottos of the world and the Young Miamis, and they pushing out all this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate, it's fucked up, man, because men really do want to give it a shot. They really do think about these type of things, and like, man, the weight of man, it's so
See,
much weight on our shoulders as black men. We don't even have the support of the
the,
ones we should have the support of, and then when these guys go get these white women.
yeah,
You see what I'm saying? Who said, baby, I see that load. Come on.
yeah, I'm gonna say this. The biggest straw man argument in black culture is the single black independent woman. And I'm gonna tell you
Yeah.
why. And this is the history lesson for y'all those over at TikTok. And I wanna bring this to the table. The term independent, strong black woman was a term used during slavery. So when they set you up for you to be sold, they would stretch your hands out and they would turn you to the side so that they could show your titties, your breasts, and they could show your ass because of mating. It wasn't because of some type of intellectual newfound thing that you knew that everybody else didn't. It was simply to breed you out. So that term has been, yeah, it's been rerouted to something different, but it hasn't ended in the tangible. And when I say a tangible, an increase of Black legacy and Black culture to be pushed forward. Here's something that your pastor don't tell you. When you have this type of mindset, it makes you relatable, and it also makes you predictable, and it also makes you profitable. And let me give you the example. Because by you being single, I'm able to teach you and I'm able to reach you. By you being Black, normally what's in the pulpit? A Black person. And then he empowers you to make you strong. But at the end of the day, there's a fee. And if you look at the Black church, Martin Luther King talked about this in the Birmingham letter. He was afraid of what the church would become now. And what we see is less men dwell in there, more children there, more women there, and no leadership of warriors or no warrior class of men being spurned out from the church. When we can look at the masjid, we can look at the mosque, we can look at the Catholic Church, building warriors and building mindsets of warriors. You know why? Because they're getting their financial together. They're getting their physical together. They're getting their real estate together. They're doing all of these things that are beneficial. Their culture and their religion is benefiting them. We're the only ones that now in modern day do not reap the benefits of our religion. And I ask people to look at that right now. Why is our church not building Black men to be able to go to a school? Why is the we have 4 Sundays each month, sometimes 5, collecting millions of dollars, and they have not done the due diligence of sending these children to school for trade so that that could be passed down within the community to build itself up. I asked that question.
And I know we short on time. I'm gonna say this though.
Yeah.
I was watching the Varby interview,
Mhm.
and he was talking about the difference between white people and Black people, or just other races compared to Black people. He was just saying like we all about individualism. Like it's one Michael Jordan, it's one Mike Tyson. Like when it comes to the shoes, yeah, it's the Michael Jordan. It's his picture, whatever, whatever. He was like, but when you go in Walmart, well, he was saying Walmart as a whole, that's the Walton family. That's not named after one guy. It's it's Sam Walton, but Walmart is the conglomerate of the whole family, right?
Mhm.
And he was saying like when you go look at ketchup, Hunt's, that's the last name. Heinz, that's the last name. Even different certain brands, Chevrolet, that was somebody. Ferrari and Lamborghini, all this different shit. Like it's named after a family's last name. In comparison to when Black people reach success, you need to know my first and last. You need my first name for sure. You need to know that. You know what I'm saying? Versus doing it for the actual last name. It's some damn dad said, and they laughed at him that first time he was on Breakfast Club and he had the cookies. And he was like, man, look, I'm
Yeah.
hustling for my last name, not my first, when he had Dash Motors and all that shit. So it's unfortunate to see these things play out and how it's going with Dame. But
Mhm.
when people think of the Carters, they don't necessarily go straight to Jay-Z. No, they might think about President Carter and shit like that. You think of Jay-Z
Yeah.
and Beyonce. You get what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Versus
Mhm.
an actual last name holding weight. Even with Jordan, man, we only know his son now because he dated lost a Pippen and shit like that. But
Come on,
nobody
man.
looked at the Jordans. You see what I'm saying?
Come on, man.
Versus I look at LeBron and the brand he's building with his family, the James game.
Mhm.
I can see he's trying to apply it to where it's like, okay, you understand the whole family. It's Savannah, the whole nucleus of family. They hated Joe Jackson, but Joe Jackson pushed it out there for the Jacksons. Yeah, it fell apart later on, but you just look at those type of things, man. Like they use them last night, even in the Crown families, dog. The Gambino family, like
Yeah.
it was understood. It wasn't one guy. It was like you understand, like no, this is us. But like black people, we like to focus on the me.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna have to climb up out of that. You know what I'm saying? In order to even make some progression to get out of that, individualism and get behind the family thing because you hustling for the Higgins. I'm hustling for the Davis. Like this where it's at. This where it should be. If you're the only millionaire to come out of this thing, you fail.
Come on, man.
If you're the only Higgins that got millions in his account, you fail, man.
You definitely said a mouthful, man. And on that one, man, I have to give you props, bro. And you know what I'm saying? We definitely gonna continue this conversation Tuesday, man. I think we need to do a part 2 on this, and I think we need to bring in some women to have this conversation because there's a lot of misnomers and a lot of misunderstanding between us as male species and female species in our culture. But I think with this next conversation, I think we're gonna get it together, man. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, let the folks know, man. I'm putting this stuff up, but let them folks know so they can read it and they can see it. Let them know how to get at you, man.
Yeah, no, man. Some of the great or at Timbo Chops. You know what I'm saying? Get with me, baby. It's going down, man. Shout out to the kids. It's back to school. Make sure y'all pull up and get them kids fresh, man. I gotta get them right for back to school, man.
Come on now. As you know, it's always a pleasure, Timbo. Definitely, man. We might jump on here Sunday. I don't know, but Tuesdays and Thursdays, come check at us, man. We doing what we do.
I'm
You
out,
already
baby.
know. That's Timbo on the check out, man. Listen. I told y'all, we doing some things different around here. We definitely want to change some things. Listen, I want to pay a couple of bills real quick. I just want to you know what I'm saying, just inform and whatnot. Listen. If you're in need of a little marketing boost in your social media community, let us know. We want you to have a sales increase of about 2 to 5% from your followers. Let us do the walking and talking for you. E-commerce services to deliver a sales increase, profitable and precise to not just you, the business, but also the consumer. We do honest business. Put yourself in a win-win situation. So DM me, PodGod, or email me at lets.yap.about.it@gmail.com and get you going today. I also want to pay a few bills, get them to the forefront. You know what I'm saying? They always showing love and always showing support. Elite Lash Nails and Spa. Listen to me. If you ever get a chance, 25681 Nelson Way, Suite 160, Katy, Texas, 77494. Mention me, the Pod God. Listen, tell them Pod God sent you, the podcast guy sent you, and you're going to get 20% off your receipt. Also, I also want to tell you about the Ed Hennings boot. You already know. Listen, one of the hottest boots, the future of work safety. If you know anybody in blue collar work, definitely log on to them. You see the website at the bottom. Listen, the proud official boot of the Let's Yap About It podcast and longshoresmen and women everywhere across the South. Go over there. Definitely, they'll take care of you. And I also want to send a special shout out to Pandemonium Clothing. You see the hat that I'm rocking. You already know. PandemoniumClothingClub.com. Grab 10% off at checkout when you enter the word podcast, man. Listen, go over there. They'll definitely take care of you. I also want to send a special shout out tonight to the Great 88 Movers. Listen, they're here locally in Houston. The Great 88 Movers, there is no job too big, too small. The Great 88 Movers, they do it all. Call them for a quote today. Listen, from Rob the Prop, and they definitely going to take care of you. And then I also want to tell you about Zone and Lifestyle. Listen, we got Kevin Durant. We also got the Kevin Durant limited edition exclusive piece. Check it out. Listen, go over there to zoneandlifestyle.com and check out. Enter ZLFS to get your free shipping on that new exclusive piece that we got over there. Shout out to the Rockets. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna do their thing, and I feel like they got they championship bound. Nah, for real. But I also got one last left. Listen. I want y'all to understand about what I do as far as showing that love. These are the businesses that I frequent. These are the businesses that I do business with as well. And they have great customer service, great quality product, and most of all, they care about you, the consumer, the customer. That's why I do what I do, man. So you definitely check them out. But before we go tonight, I want to give you something. I want to give you a jewel. And this is for everybody. The word of the day, stay down. The reason why is because the most important thing that you must understand about staying down is having that gravitational pull to reality more than anything else. Keeping your feet planted, keeping yourself focused, keeping yourself energized, keeping yourself hydrated. In this world that we are, this world will eat you alive. And I'm going to tell you something. He talked about something important called individualism. That right there is hurting our culture now more than ever because we're going up against a system that is well financed, geographically aligned. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about got everything and all bases covered. So you have to have strength in numbers. So you got to start relating to certain people. A lot of times what we don't understand is the things that are told to us in truth that hurt us are actually there to help us. So what I want y'all to do is the rest of this week and enjoy y'all weekend. Man, stay down with the people that love you, stay down with the people that care about you, and stay down with the people that have your best interests at heart. Don't have cognitive dissonance. Don't have the Dunning-Kruger effect or Darwinism come into effect with the relationships that you have, because the people that sit down and talk to you, the people that take the time with you actually care about you and love you. But listen, y'all, I would like to thank all of you for joining tonight's broadcast. And if I came up in your feed and you stopped to take a peek in, then come join the conversation and comment down below. Well, we've come to an end, so tell a friend and let the conversation begin. So until the next time, we got a lot to yap about. But before I go tonight, I want to end the show on two notes. And that's two great artists definitely making a name for themselves. And I want to introduce you to them. Check this out. The first song I'm going to introduce you to is by Moon Man Easy. The name of the song is Moon and the Gods. And then to take us out, Foreign Glizzy, the song is called Lavish Living. But you already know who it is. It's Rob the Prob. Over and out. Salute. We gone.
Hey, 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 look, what else? Hey, hear me out, look. Me, Nas, and Jay-Z, these niggas can't persuade me. Legends made at home, so outsiders never faze me. They be good size, mashed potatoes with the gravy. I'm the main dish, been chasing chicken on the daily. Finally got my feet wet, I'ma end the game, this a heat check. Playing with the pussy, sipping Henny like I'm Keith Sweat. I remember days they would treat me like a reject. Now I'm in the mirror, popping shit is just a reflex. Apologize later, I won't never be a hater. What is good to the greatest, stay in fashion, that's the latest. And I believe in God, I hardly ever ask for favors. I read them niggas good, that's how I knew to turn the pages. A whole new aura, met a chick from Bora Bora. She won't do too much complaining if I take her to Sephora. Can't let her have my heart, I'd rather keep it in the storage. They say the one you need gon' come around when you the poorest. Oatmeal, loaf of porridge, take a chance and get a foreign. Niggas tried to lowball me when my lyrics was maturing. And my shit got validity, don't even need a chorus. I'm married to the hustle, we been looking for a florist. I come up with soliloquies, I'm willing in a fortune. This base motel, killing niggas like I'm Norman. I got baggage, keep it close, feel like they filming me on hoarders. God, family, then the money, that's my values placed in order. Plus I keep a bad bitch, she always wet like Fiji water. Want my whole fucking dollar, you can't keep a fucking quarter. Old niggas
we've been talking a lot lately about, the journey, about my backstory, about everything that it took to get to this point, right? But it's so many of you that's out there in the trenches every day, putting that work in, and you want to keep the main thing the main thing. What you want to know is that product, high quality. And I just want to show you our latest boot, man, going out today to a customer out in Detroit, Michigan, man. That quality. You see the quality in that boot? You see the motto on that, real clean? You see that logo? Real nice and clean on that, baby? That's right. The main thing is the main thing, man. High quality work boots at an affordable price, man. That's what we all about. Bringing you the best in the game, man. The hottest name in work boots right now. Ed Hennings brand work boots, man. Somebody got to be great. Why not you? Let's go.